Patreon exclusive. Are you trying to grow out a beard?
I am. This is petty beard, I would say.
What is it?
As
Why petty?
petty because I don't know if you follow along in the group with my friends and you. You know that group?
Uh-huh. It
In
doesn't
there,
sound like I do.
you do usually, but I think
I
you
do.
also scroll through the stuff that doesn't
I
pertain to you.
do. Yeah.
Anyways, we were talking about beards. And one of them complained about like how all of the men now look the same. They all in Indian movies, they all have these beards and like long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, it's because beards are a man's version of contouring, like makeup contouring. You
It's
cover up
true. Yep.
a lot of things with it. And then they said, well, actually, we do like a beard. Like we do like a man in a beard. So I was like, well, you can't be part of the problem and then also complain about it. So, and then I said, just to point out, I have never hidden behind a beard. Like my face is my face, like clean shave, whatever. And then they said, well, I bet you can't grow out a beard. And then as we're going to Friendsgiving this Friday, this beard is just out of pettiness. I don't like it. It is currently in the homeless stage, and
Yeah.
I've had two on camera meetings, and I've had to like make a joke about it beforehand, just to be like, "Hey, this isn't how it normally looks." But as an extension, I am now, showering on a regular basis because the rest of it has to look good. Like it has to look intentional.
Now, what are you telling them? What's the joke that you share before you point out your beard?
No, I just say, hey, don't mind my beard. I'm just trying to grow it out of petty reasons. It's not fully in yet. I thought I would have a better handle of it, but over the weekend, but I clearly don't. So
Sorry, it's not out yet. I'm still going through puberty, so
it's not bad. I think it'll come in pretty good.
no, I think it'll
I
be fine. It'll be
I
great. You have a
I
great beard. You've had a beard in the past.
I've had a beard, but like for me, I think it's so stupid. My beard follicles are too far apart, so I need the beard, like the hair, to grow out, and then I have like almost like a beard comb over. I don't know if that's like regular. What happens with all men? I think some men over the course of a day you can grow out a beard, right? And your hair follicles are very very close. Anyways,
I can grow a beard probably in a day.
well, a mustache for sure.
Oh, 100%. Well, I'm excited for your beard.
Thank you.
I had a very weird thing happen this week.
What's that?
A clip came up on my Instagram, and it was a Colbert episode, and it was him interviewing Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake Gyllenhaal was talking about how he prepares his turkey. And
Yeah.
the more I watched Jake Gyllenhaal, and I said, this motherfucker really does look like my brother.
Aw, well, I don't. Apologies to Jake Gyllenhaal and all Jake Gyllenhaal fans. That is something that I have heard. I don't. I don't know. Maybe sometimes, but I really don't see it. I don't.
I
Like
mean,
that.
it's a very generous
Very,
comment to
very
make.
generous.
It's very
Very,
generous.
very
Like,
generous.
like you would definitely. But you know what's great? Like, if you ever wanted to get a nose job, you could take Jake Gyllenhaal's nose to a doctor and say, "Give me this nose," and it would fit really nicely on your face because you guys have very similar faces.
I mean, I don't know why we're starting with if you ever want to get a nose job. I don't know why we jump right into that. Hey, if you ever want to have major plastic surgery.
I'm just saying, I don't think you need it.
It
But if
sounds
you
like
wanted it-
you do think I do.
No, I have actually grown quite fond of our large noses as a sibling duo.
I've grown fond of your nose and our brother's nose. I have not grown
Grown fond.
grown fond of my own nose because you guys have the paternal nose.
Our dad's nose, yeah.
I have our maternal nose.
Uh-huh.
But then I think the volume of it, the shape of my nose is maternal, but the volume is paternal. It's a lot of nose.
It's bulbous.
It's bulbous. Well, this is great. Oh, I'm gonna go off camera now.
No. Patreon exclusive. If you really want to know what we're talking about, just tune in. Well, I'm excited for your beard. As I've told you before, I do not remember if people have beards or not. It's one of those. I have beard blindness. Like I don't know if a man has a beard. There's been times when I've looked at somebody's picture and said, "Oh, wow, you grew out a beard." And then they pointed to their face while they were standing next to me and said, "I've had a beard for a really long time." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize." Because I genuinely don't know if people have beards or not. Like, I
Yeah.
think our brother has a beard, right? I'm pretty
Our
sure
brother
he
definitely has
does.
a beard. Yeah,
He
yeah, he does.
definitely has a beard.
Hmm.
But then I'm like, did he always have a beard? I know he didn't always have a beard. But in my head, I don't know what he looks like without, like, in my head, his face is the same with or without beard, which I think is a crazy statement to make because beards, like you said, are like a big thing for men, you know?
Contouring. Yeah.
It's contouring. So
Mhm.
the only person whose beard I pay attention to is my own and my
Uh-huh.
husband's, who you
Oh.
said is my beard.
Yeah. No, you are his beard.
Whatever. Anyway, listen, Thanksgiving is upon us. Lots to
Yeah.
be thankful for. But
Uh-huh.
before we get into all of that, we had some exciting stuff happen. Somebody left a comment saying, "As soon as I saw this news clip, I knew the next episode with Raheel was going to be unhinged." And that put a lot of pressure on us because the reason why they left that comment is that Zohran Mamdani went down to the White House and
Mm-hmm.
he had a meeting with Donald Trump that left us all a little bit confused because Donald, she's smitten. You know, Donald was like, "Tell me about your beard. Can I touch it?"
Wait, does Zoran have a beard? I don't know. I have beard blindness.
Yeah, he does.
He does have a beard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was it was interesting. But I guess like I think what it kind of reiterated to me was there have been instances when you think Donald Trump is just going to be like the vocal person that he is on Twitter or X or Truth or whatever the hell it is. But when he is face to face with people that he rails against, he is also just a pussycat, minus the cat. He does that a lot. Like if you remember in 2016 after the inauguration, he was in the room with Bill and Hillary and Obama, and he was sucking their ass, which I know
Yeah.
isn't really a term, but he was sucking their ass.
No, I think that
And,
that's a great term. I think sucking their ass is exactly what he was doing. That's a perfect explanation.
yeah, so I saw him be like, I guess, congenial.
Hmm.
And like, there it looked like he was like happy, and everything that he said about like how he how he foresees Zoran and like the things that they want to accomplish in New York and the things where they do actually have where they have the same goals or whatever. It seemed like a nice thing. And I don't know how much of that is strategy. I don't know how much that, because like, so after that happened, right? There were like a couple of MAGA accounts that were like, oh, he has Zoran exactly where he wants him, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, I think I saw in our spaces, people were like, oh, look at how charming Zoran is. Like
Hmm.
he even won Trump over, right? I remember Trump being like that the first time that Trudeau came also.
Hmm.
So he does that from time to time. So I don't know. What did you think about it?
You know, it's funny. I'm glad you mentioned about the MAGA thing. The internet is really funny because you did have MAGA
Mhm,
people being like, Zoran, did you see how Trump totally, like, what's the
mhm,
word? Neutralized Zoran? Like, he really made him think that he is his friend. Da 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 da. He has
mhm.
Zoran exactly where he wants him, you know? And then on the other side, you had everybody being like, I think Trump has a crush on Zoran Mamdani
Yeah,
because he had googly eyes for this man.
yeah,
Particular, there's that one part where the reporter asked, you've called the president a fascist in the past. Do you still believe that he's a fascist? And Zoran's like, well, I mean, and then he's about to explain. And Trump does this thing where he pats him he squeezes his bicep. He says, don't worry about it. Don't worry.
yeah.
It's
Just say
easier not
yes.
to explain. Just say yes.
Yeah,
And then Zoran's like, yeah, well, that's
yeah,
that. Right. So, um, and then people saw that obviously from our side and was like, Zoran is so charming. He got Trump to admit that he's a fascist, right?
mhm,
Um, at the same time, there's also people on both sides that are like, oh, I thought Trump was anti-socialism. What is he doing with this Muslim Brotherhood? Da 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 da. All like the
yeah,
anti-socialist, anti-Muslim rhetoric, right? And then also on the left, you have people being like, wow, it took Zoran less than a month to cave on everything that he promised. Now he's chum-chumming up with the enemy, right? And it's like, it's weird to say this, right? Because it's like, I think that the same logic can apply for both of those extreme arguments, which is that,
Hmm.
like, at some point you have to figure out how to continue to do work with people at work that you don't like. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, at this point, Donald Trump is Zohran Mamdani's coworker. Like, they
Yeah.
are now peers, which is crazy. Like, that's an insane thing to say. But also, we mentioned this last week when we were talking about, like, how the Republican Party and Republican politicians are sort of going to start realizing that Trump doesn't really have any power. I think that Trump realizes that he can't do a reelection. I think that he tried it where, like, for the last few months he was like, let's just do it. Let's just fucking change the rules and put me up again. And they were like, Donald, we can't. We can't. Okay.
We've
We tried.
tried.
It's not gonna happen. Right. So I feel like he's also aware of the fact that once he's done with this, his dumbass is gonna have to go back to New York or Florida or wherever. And
Hmm.
at the end of the day, he's gonna have to deal with whatever New York looks like over the next 4 years. So I don't know. I think I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I think that there was something that Zoran did that, like, felt, I made me feel really seen, which is that which is something that I think a lot of South Asians saw. We have all, as brown kids growing up, have had to be in a room by force with an uncle that we fucking hate. And we've had to be so polite and so nice while they're sitting there and just saying all kinds of bullshit. Like, we know how to pacify an uncle or an auntie.
Yeah.
Like, we know how to do that. We know how to deal with the most, like, narcissistic demon elders, right?
Hmm.
And so I think that that kind of, like, that's the look I saw in Zoran's face of, like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, my parents raised me right. They taught me how to deal with this type of personality. I'm still going to do what I want to do. But in this situation, I'm going to be polite and whatever. I do want to know what your opinion is, because obviously we've talked on this podcast about, like, sports teams that go to the White House. And so
Hmm.
some people feel that, like, we rage against sports teams that go to the White House. So why are we supportive of Zoran Mamdani going to the White House? What is your response to people who have that belief?
Well, when the Philadelphia Eagles are in charge of, rent control in Philadelphia, then yes, I do think that that would be a valid reason. No, I mean, listen, did Zoran Mamdani absolutely have to go to the White House? He didn't, right? He went, and it ended up being, like, overall, I'd say, a pleasant interaction.
Yeah.
Kind of given the thing that they were talking about. Just one quick thing that I want to talk about is, it is funny to see, like, how quickly people forget, like the true nature of Trump based off of a clip. And I say that for, in terms of, like, the brown men in my life, right? Like, they weren't, a part of the reaction was that, oh, look at how charming Zoran is, that he won Trump over. Another reaction that I did see was that, see, maybe Trump doesn't hate all Muslim people because, see, he's so chummy with the Saudis that were also there, right? And you go, wait, man, how do you forget about the fact that, all of the anti-Muslim stuff just based off of one interaction? Like, how do you not see? And I think that's just people just being people. I will say, I think overall, in terms of whether it was a positive or a negative, I think of it as a positive, right? Like, I know that in my day to day life, I do not want to see Trump be successful on his agenda, because I hate his agenda. His agenda is
Yeah.
absolutely wrong. At the same time, to see Trump kind of being in that room with Zoran Mamdani and, like, being welcoming, and, like, not even welcoming, being accepting of this brown man, and saying that, hey, we have the same goals or whatever, right? To me, like, just the fact that he was in a room with a brown man, and it wasn't vitriolic, and it wasn't hateful, and it wasn't like, hey, this brown person needs to get the fuck out. It seems like a small win, but, like, where we are in society right now, and if we just go back to, like, the beginning of this month, like 20 days ago, before this election was before the election was completed, that was the verbiage, right? Like that was
Yeah.
like it was out and out racism against the fact that there's a brown Muslim that is running, right? And so to me, like if I think about like a MAGA person seeing that, seeing like Donald Trump accepting of a brown man and not like being as hateful as his words usually are online, or the kind of hate that he incites against Muslims and brown men or whatever, right? That isn't, to me, that's a major win. Like just the
Hmm.
fact that he was in that room and Zoran was like, he was just allowed to be himself, which is like a crazy thing that you have to say,
Yeah.
um because this is supposed to be America, and like this is, you shouldn't have to think like that. But in 2025, that's where we are, like, because like he had that interaction in the White House and it was between two very powerful men. If you
Yeah.
see what's happening in the country, aside for like based off of the MAGA movement, there is a lot of just outwardly racist, just the worst type of people that are just out there, and they're out and they're proud and they're talking about how we do not belong in a white society, right? And they're saying these things in public. They're saying these things in front of town halls. They're saying these things in front of like, like the board members in a city or whatever, right? So they're coming out and they're saying that. So just to see Zoran in the White House as a brown man, as a Muslim man, being welcomed is, to me, is a big win, because I hope that it allows other MAGA people to like get over this bullshit that they are now back into, which is America is just made for white people.
Well, I don't think that their mind is going to change. But if you have a
Hmm.
MAGA family member this Thanksgiving and they want to be mad at Muslims and they're scared of Sharia law, they should not be worried about New York. They should be worried about just like Trump, as we mentioned last week, hobnobbing with MBS. Like the
Yes.
Saudis, you're worried about Sharia law. You should be worried about the people that are actually doing it in their
Yeah.
country and then doing deals where like the US sells their like aircrafts or whatever, their like fighter jets to the Saudis. Like you're worried about Sharia law, that's where you should be worried. Not
Yeah.
about the guy who's like, "Hey, I'm just trying to make New York City a little bit more affordable for people."
Yeah. If you want, we should set up a hotline of like the good Muslims and the bad. Like if you have a question during your Thanksgiving dinner, hey, what's a good Muslim look like? What's a bad one? No, just terrible. I'm a bad Muslim.
No,
But
I
yeah,
think we're all right. I think we're all right. But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think that Zoran was interviewed this week. People asked him about it. I don't for the podcast he was on or whatever, but like he said that he was not expecting to go into the White House to do anything besides talk about New York, and that's all he talked about. That's all he
exactly.
wants to talk. The guy is obsessed. Okay, he has an obsession with New York City. Okay, which
Get
is what we
over it,
want.
Zoran.
Get over it, Darn. We get it. You love the city. No, but like he's like, that's all he wants to talk about. His thing is
Yeah.
like, what can I do to work with this lunatic to make sure that my city stays safe? Right.
Mhm.
He didn't go in there and come out and say, oh yeah, I said Trump can like maybe dabble in a little bit of ice in the city. Like he didn't say that. He wasn't like, yeah, like when you want on these days, like go ahead and send ice in. He didn't say any of that. Like he didn't say like, no, I'm going to let you build like another Mar-a-Lago in New York City. He didn't say any of that. He was just
Yeah.
like, he said, yeah, the president's a fascist. Israel did commit a genocide. Like he
Mhm.
said all of those things in the fucking White House in the Oval Office. Like that's a huge win for
That's a
us.
huge one. And it's really nice that he said it with a smile, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
I believe this stuff if I'm angry or if if I'm not. Like the bottom line is the bottom line, right? And I think that's ultimately, like, to me, all of it came off as a big win. I will say it took me a second. It took me a second to get there. And you go, well, this is probably just, a lot of this is based off of, all the shit that we see online. And there is this sense where you're just like, well, how can you be in the same room with Donald Trump and not tell him to fuck off, right?
Yeah.
Like, because that's how we feel, a lot of times. But again, he's the mayor, or he's the mayor elect of New York. He has a job to do, and he didn't give up any. any space. You know what I mean? Like he still kind of held on to all of his own beliefs. He said the thing that he wanted to say. And he just didn't have to yell it. He just said it with a smile, which is like, hey,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you're like, well, you know, it would have been nice to see him scream, and sometimes it's nice to just like see, you know, somebody get yelled at. It's definitely for the best when screaming doesn't happen, right? Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, like we do want all this shit to be successful, right? When I say all
Yeah.
this
And
shit,
you're
I mean the US.
Yeah, exactly. And he's already screamed. He already told him to turn the volume up and get it
Yeah.
together. You know, like he wants to continue. And it's like he's not scared of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the kind of person that if you avoid meeting with him, he's going to be like, "Oh, these people
Yeah.
are scared of me." You know what I mean? So that's that. I did love the memes of people saying that Donald Trump has a crush on Zohran Mamdani. Like there's a picture of him with his hand on his chin on the oval in the you know in the Oval Office at the desk, and he's smiling at the camera, and the caption says, "When he calls you Habibi once." And I love that. I think it's so funny. I love that people are like, "Did you see he keeps casually trying to grab Zoran's bicep?" He's like, "Oh, you work out." He's like, "Zoran, please." You know, and then did you see the picture? There's a picture the next day of Donald Trump, like he didn't get a chance to do his spray tan or whatever. And then he has this like maroon scarf like around his neck and a black peacoat. And they're like, "Oh, it's giving New York in the winter." Like he's ready. He's ready for Zoran. It's, you know, so I don't know. I mean, I was like, okay, this is topsy turvy, because the other news we got right after that was Ham Hock. She called it quits. She said, "I'm resigning in January after my pension hits, but I'm resigning in January. I'm done with the Republican Party after my pension hits."
I got some cash flow problems, but yes, I am gonna stand on business. I am gonna put my foot down. I need some money. I am getting the fuck out of here, and you won't have which Marge to kick around no more.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to be anybody's punching bag anymore. Okay,
As long
make
as
sure
I have my
you
money. I take Venmo and Zelle.
Cash App.
Cash App.
You guys, the direct deposit still works, right? It's the same direct deposit as before. I don't have to do anything else. Yeah, she said, "I'm done. I thought I was working with da da da." But guys, guess what? I feel like we are going to be seeing Republicans dropping like flies. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Republicans running for re-election dropping like flies. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, man. I hope so. You know, it's crazy that like the line in the sand is MTG. Like she's on the sane side of things. You know what I mean? So I would
Yeah.
say if I'm a Republican that is saner than MTG, do I quit? I don't think so. I think really what it came down to for MTG was she got to where she got to based off of the crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like she was like, well, I can't go along with this level of crazy. And if you stop, like if you build your brand on crazy and you're like, well, no, I'm not crazy on this one thing, then you're nothing, right? So I think that's the reason why she quit. Do I see other Republicans quitting? I see the ones that are kind of in that MTG space that I think ultimately what MTG is going to do is she's just going to find a new grift. Like she's
Yep.
gonna be on TV. She's gonna be like on Fox News. She's gonna get
I
paid
think
for
she's going to be
speeches.
the new Republican co-host of The View.
Oh yeah,
Imagine.
that'd be great for you
No,
because
I hate it.
you support all women. Isn't that the thing?
Raheel,
Uh,
please, please watch your mouth.
any woman,
Okay.
any woman.
Any woman.
Yeah. So I think that's what's gonna happen. I do see that there's a schism within MAGA, which is happening much quicker, and it's way more volatile than I think either of us expected. But I feel like it's losing steam, and I think people are realizing that it's losing steam. And I think we talked about this like when Trump got inaugurated or when he got elected, which was the nice thing about Donald Trump and the MAGA movement is that they are narcissists and they are selfish and
Mm-hmm.
they are inept, right? And because everybody's just kind of looking out for themselves. So what that means is like a lot of the things that they say that they're going to do, they just either lose interest or they don't have like the wherewithal to complete it, right? Like I saw this
Yeah.
thing where they said Doge is pretty much just done. Like,
Yeah.
that entire Doge thing, nobody's really working for Doge anymore. That whole department is just done. So you go, okay, well, that's a good thing. They just kind of lost interest, I guess. I think that's what's going to happen with the rest of them also. I think some of them are going to find a new grift. I think Trump has some loyalists that they have nothing else
Yeah.
other than the Donald Trump thing. So, they're going to stay in there and they're going to, make their stupid arguments.
I think also a lot of Republicans are not getting the attention from Trump this time around that they got the first time. Like, I think that
Mhm.
a lot of, because, Marjorie always says, like, she said something like, I'm not a Johnny come lately. I'm a MAGA girl from day one. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
I've been crazy since the beginning.
I've been I've been nuts since the beginning. Okay. I didn't just hop on this cuckoo train. I've been
Yeah,
part of the conductor.
I saw this son of a bitch coming down the escalator, and I heard Mexican rapist, and I said, "That's my man. That's the guy for me."
So like I think that a lot of these people are realizing, it's crazy because like you're like, we always talk about like, oh, these people like, the thing is always like affordability and da 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 and all that stuff. And I think like at the end of the day, a lot of what the MAGA people have been sold is affordability wrapped in the ability to say the hard R N word, the R
Mhm.
word, and the F word slur. So like I think that I think maybe some of these people are realizing like I don't know, I can say the R word
Yeah.
and the hard R N word, but I don't see any more money in my pockets.
things seems to be getting more expensive. It's like every time I say the N word, the prices at Walmart go up a little bit. What's the
And like
meaning of this?
what's the big idea? I thought I voted on all this. Okay. I see one of the things, but not the price of eggs, it's tripled, you know? So I do think that like a lot of these people are realizing like, no, he really did have Elon up his butt. And like he
Yeah.
really does that. He really loves rich people. Like we had that debate the other day with a friend of ours in a group chat about like how he was saying that Zohran Mamdani and Donald Trump are two sides of the same extremist coin, right? And about like speaking to being anti-establishment and speaking to the people. And it was like the reason why it actually enraged me is because anybody who believes that Donald Trump was an anti-establishment candidate
Mhm.
is not paying attention, because nothing in his plan from day one, he said he was going to drain the swamp, but he had all swamp people in his campaign.
Yeah.
Like a big issue that MAGA people have is that even though Mike Johnson is like a very pro Project 2025 Heritage Foundation person, there's a
Mhm.
lot of shit that they're doing that doesn't necessarily align with affordability. All that stuff is more authoritarianism. It's more to make rich people rich and for to control Christians and immigrants or women and immigrants and non-Christians, right? So I think that whole idea that like Donald Trump is this like anti-establishment, like he's not a politician guy, it's silly, because also Zoran's an assemblyman. That Donald Trump is this like anti-establishment candidate.
Mhm.
Anybody with two eyes and ears can see that that's obviously not the case. Like he's never been, I think, yeah, he is like not a politician, but like it's not the same thing as Zoran, because if you actually look at their politics, it's completely different. And
Yeah.
also Zoran Mamdani is an assemblyman. Like Donald Trump came from being a failed reality TV star to president of the United States, whereas that's not really what Zoran does. You know what I mean? Like it's two very different things. But I think I'm bringing that up because a lot of the like racist MAGA base
Mhm.
is like these triple Trumpers, right? I think that they were still voting on the idea of like banning abortion and making things more affordable for like the small guys. And I think that that's not happening. And I think a lot of the MAGA Republicans are not okay with that. And I think maybe that's why they're also calling it quits, because I don't think that there's anything, you're not getting anything good out of being associated with Donald Trump anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think you're not getting that. You're not getting like as that Donald Trump bump up anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You're
Um,
not getting a boost.
you're not getting the
There's no
Donald
power
boost.
up.
Nope. In terms of Donald Trump being anti-establishment or whatever, right? I think, going back to like 2015 and 2016, I think the thing that people liked about it was that he would come out and he would say basically that, hey, I'm a rich person. and I do stuff, I get away with shit. Like when he used to say like, oh, I gave money to both of the parties and they let me do those things, right? I think people really liked that he was honest about that.
Yeah.
They liked that he was, he was saying, oh, I get to do this shit because I'm rich. Like he wasn't, I don't know if he ever said that out loud, but that's basically the thing that he said. I had a conversation with somebody who identified himself as a Trumper last week, or a pro Trump person, even though he voted for Obama twice and he voted for Clinton and he voted for Bush. And he was like, to me, it does feel like Donald Trump is in some ways like the thing that appealed to me was that he was going to break the system. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, why did you think that he was going to break the system? And he goes, because he was coming out and the types of things that he was saying about politics, I agree with that. Like the fact that the
Mm-hmm.
system is bullshit and that you can buy people off or whatever. I thought that Donald Trump would be the person to fix it, but it is now becoming obvious to me that he is not the person to fix it. He is the person who just says that the system is corrupt and then he uses the
Yeah.
system to fuel his corruption.
Yeah.
Right? So
Like you said
he's
right
like,
now, like that you could buy people out of the
yeah,
system. You're like, and then he was like, oh, I can use this to my advantage.
exactly. Yeah. So he was, I think that's the thing that people liked. And the message, like the indirect message, or maybe it was direct message that he tied to that was like, hey, look, and on one side you can see the system is corrupt. You can just buy people off. And by the way, like the reason why you can't buy people off is because too much of our money goes towards serving these minorities and
Yeah.
these women and all of these different genders that we have to deal with, right? So I think it was taking advantage of like the bad time that people were having, pointing the blame towards minorities and women and that stuff. And then I think what I've learned over the last 10 years is there are some people in the world that just respond really really well to like a man in power. Like
Mm-hmm.
they want like a daddy figure, or they respond to like that king thing. They like that he is out there and that he is as corrupt as he is, because what that means for them is that, oh well, you know what, if I want things in life, I can be corrupt also. Fuck all this shit. Like
I would love to tell you what that is called.
what's that called?
It's called the patriarchy.
I think it's called cuckery. Honestly, that's what it feels like to me. Like some of these, I'm like, wait, how can you like? How is Donald Trump the guy for you? And it's not. It's what he represents. What he represents is like this. You can be a fraud. And
Yeah.
the thing is, you stand behind it. You're okay with it, right?
Yeah.
Come out and will they say it? Probably not. But that's the thing that people like about him. They like that he's full of shit.
But they're not liking a lot because the Republicans are quitting. I am nervous about the people that are quitting and who's going to replace them. So if you have a Republican under you who's going to quit, just run for their seat. Just take it.
Yeah,
Just
you
take
know
it.
what? They'll fucking vote anybody these days. That's the other one of the other
Yeah.
things. Yeah, like
Just try
again,
it.
MTG is the statesperson that is gonna save democracy, and like less than 10 years ago, she was harassing high school kids that just survived a school shooting. So
Yeah.
you'd make a good candidate, whoever you are.
You told me to write this down, and I don't know what it's about, but I'd love to hear more. It says back of JD Vance's ass. What
You
is
don't know
this
about
about?
this?
No, tell me.
So your girl, Erica Kirk,
Uh-huh.
was on a podcast with your other girl, Megan Kelly.
Uh-huh.
Your two best friends. I think that's the twosome for you, right?
Mhm.
And Erica Kirk said, they were talking about all of like the JD Vance stuff. And first of all, Erica Kirk, you should know, she said that her love language is touch or whatever. She likes
Uh-huh.
to touch people.
Okay.
That's how she conveys love, right? And she said that she was, in that moment, she met JD Vance and he said something nice to her or something like that. So she grabbed the back of his head and she's like, I don't know why people were, getting so freaked out about it. To me, that's just the way that it is. And then Megan Kelly was like, yeah, I think they would have cared less if you had grabbed the back of JD Vance's ass. That's what she said. And then Erica Kirk said, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. Right.
What?
The reason I want to talk about this, but the reason why I want to talk about it is because I have never heard the term "the back of somebody's ass."
I was just gonna
Because
say.
to me, the ass is the back.
Yes, it's the back.
How much further back do you want to get?
What do you mean?
Uh,
What do you mean the back of somebody's ass?
it
That's
is
the whole ass.
yeah.
It's the caboose.
Is it the part that's the most protruding? I mean, there's the upper half of somebody's ass, I guess. But I think it baffled me. It baffled me for a few reasons. Um, I don't like the thought of anybody thinking about the back of JD Vance's ass. Like, it's one of those things where it's like if you say that statement, that means that you've thought about it. You know what I mean? Like, you've thought about JD Vance's ass. And then also, like, Megyn Kelly, what are you doing? Like, don't. I think it offends me again. It's one of those things that offends me as a pervert. Like, if you are going to be talking about, if you're going to be sexualizing people, like, don't co-opt my language and don't do a poor job of it. It's just an ass.
Back of his ass. What if she grabbed the undercarriage of his ass? Now that's a tight squeeze. Ooh. Well, funny you say about Erica Kirk. She is pregnant.
No, she is not pregnant.
She's pregnant.
No, she's not. She said that she wished that she was pregnant.
See, this is true?
This is why Donald Trump won 3 times. 3 times. 2020 was stolen.
Oh, never mind. She said she prayed that she was pregnant with her 3rd child when Charlie Kirk was killed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Economic Times. This is an Indian website. Erica Kirk's 8 weeks pregnant? ? Here's the complete truth. Okay, then I have to click through 14 different things. All right, what are we saying? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? I just need to know. No, she's not pregnant, guys. It's just fake news. It's fake news. But she did advise people to not put off getting married and not put off having children and not put off being serious and not put off all that stuff for their career, despite Erica herself getting married late in life to a man much younger than her after her career was established.
That's true.
But she said she does wish that she could be pregnant because she would have loved to continue carrying his legacy. And then people started to speculate to say, if she does end up pregnant and that baby comes out with lashes that look like mine,
yeah,
you know who that baby is. I saw a cartoon of somebody. It's a stupid cartoon. It was just a cartoon of Erica hugging a baby couch. And I was like, that doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even make any sense.
He doesn't reproduce.
JD is not the couch.
He fucks couches.
Does that mean Erica did? Did Erica fuck a couch? What are you saying? That doesn't make any sense. But it made me laugh so hard. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, Erica Kirk would be the baby couch's stepmother in that scenario. Or like a stepmistress mother. I don't know what that's called.
It does not make any sense. I was like, he is not a couch. He fucks couches.
He fucks couches, yeah.
Come on, guys. Be logical. Okay.
Did you see our girl or your girl? I'm assigning all women to you.
All the women.
Usha was seen without her ring. And
no rings.
And then she said, I forgot. I was doing dishes and raising children. I forgot to put on my ring.
I love that so much. I was doing dishes. We just made a big tray of lasagna and I really had to scrub that down.
I was in the vice presidential house. I was making my lasagna. As I do.
Yeah.
Every Sunday. And I forgot my ring. It happens.
Yeah, but it happens. Yeah. You were going to say, do you?
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Oh, that's all right. Okay. Listen, Thanksgiving is upon us. And I know a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of traveling. But we're in luck, Raheel, because the head of transportation for the United States is, after all, a man who is familiar with all of the road rules. Sean Duffy has announced the golden age of travel. The golden age of travel starts with you. Trump's transportation secretary, Sean P. Duffy, unveils new civility campaign ahead of busiest holiday travel season. Here's what he said. He said, Sean Duffy posed a few questions every flyer should ask himself this holiday season to help Americans reach their destination as quickly, efficiently, and comfortably as possible. Here are some of the questions. Are you dressing with respect? Are you saying thank you to your flight attendants? Are you saying please and thank you in general?
Yeah.
Are you helping pregnant women or elderly with placing their bags in the overhead bin?
Yeah.
Are you keeping control of your children and helping them through the airport? There's no question we've lost sight of what makes travel fun. The excitement, the relaxation, the cordial conversations. Americans feel divided and stressed. We can all do our part by bringing back civility, manners, and common sense. When we can unite around shared values, we can feel more connected as a country. Listen, Sean, what the fuck does this have to do with my flights being late? What are you talking about?
If you had put on pants instead of sweatpants, you wouldn't have to worry about the radars.
What? It's so crazy. By the way, this is on the transportation.gov website, okay? I'm reading from the transportation.gov website. It says all this stuff, right? And at the bottom, it says in bold, along with building an all-new air traffic control system, surging air traffic control hiring, and making travel more family-friendly, the Department of Transportation is committed to ushering a golden age of travel for the American people. So he has this like huge thing of talking about how people need to be less unruly on planes. Yeah. And then also, we're working on a new air traffic control system.
Flights go up, flights go down, whatever. But did you look good as a flight crashed to the earth? Were you wearing a suit? Were you wearing wingtips? I think what's interesting about those rules, and I haven't read them all, but I'm assuming it says that you have to wear pants, you have to wear a collared shirt, you have to wear a coat, but you can eat peanut butter out of the jar with your fingers. I believe that is...
Imagine that comes back and be like, this seems really pointed. Sean Duffy. It's
my
just
wife
hilarious.
Was insisting.
My wife was insisting. We called it the golden age of travel, puck rule. Do you think that dressing up will fix anything?
Do I think it's gonna fix air travel? I don't.
I don't know. I love the CBS News did a report on this, and it says, will dressing with respect on flights improve air travels? Experts seem, what does it say? It says, experts say they have doubts. No shit.
All right. Obviously, we've had our fun. Now, but I will ask you this question, right? When we were growing up, we would have one airport trip a year.
Yes.
Or I guess it would technically be two.
It was a few,
we'd fly one, and then we'd fly back.
No, now, we not to brag, we flew a lot.
Did we? No, we had one trip. No. 91 we went to Turkey. 92 we went to Pakistan. 93 we came to America. 94 we came to America. 95
we went to Pakistan like every summer.
Yeah, once a year.
From like 85 to...
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, once a year. That's what I'm saying. So we used to have one, like, it was airport day, right? Uh-huh. And in Sean's defense, the Duff, we did get dressed for that. I remember dressing up for our plane ride, right? I used to wear new clothes. It felt special. Mm-hmm. Now, will dressing up for the airport, will it add like a sense of wonder to it all, and will it calm us down? Because I don't think it will, because once I get into the plane, then it's all shit. Then I feel terrible. I would much rather be wearing sweatpants, right?
Can I say something?
No, you can't.
Not to shit on our country, but I'm going to do it for a second. When we were younger, we did travel Saudi Airlines. Mm-hmm. And Saudi Airlines is a very nice airline. Also, the Riyadh airport in the 80s was like the best airport in the world. Mm-hmm. It was like known for that or whatever. So I remember going on very nice flights. And I mean, our flights were like 3 hours from like Saudi to Pakistan, but we still got an entire fucking meals with silverware.
Yeah,
Okay. Silverware, real China and silverware. Okay.
China.
China flying from Riyadh to Karachi. And so I do want to say that I think that our experience was also different because our airlines were different. And
Our
so like
airlines were better,
our
and
airlines
also,
were better.
and we used to steal those toothbrushes from the bathroom that came with the toothpaste on top. Do you remember those?
I do remember those. And real, I have news for you. I hated them. I didn't like the way they tasted. I felt
Ah,
like it was torture. I did not like it.
oh, I love
But
them.
again, 3 hour flight, they're literally giving you toothbrushes and like face wash to like clean yourself. Get
Hmm.
when you land, look like a human being, will ya?
Yeah,
There
yeah,
used to be lines to the bathroom before you landed so people would like freshen up before
yeah,
they landed. You know what I mean? So like I do think air travel was different back then also because the airlines were better.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a United hoe. Okay, you know me. I love the lounge. I love that shit. But like the when I get into the air, the seats.
Uh
Now
huh.
I don't fly first class, as you know. I don't have that kind of money. But
Well, especially because you have to go on 12 trips a year. That's also
exactly,
part of.
that's also part of it. But like we ask for, you know, they gave you those like hand sanitizer wipes.
Yeah.
I grab like two handfuls because I make sure everything is like scrubbed down, because at the end of the
Mhm.
day there is still gum inside of the seat buckle of the seat that I'm wearing, like the seatbelt that I'm wearing. It's like,
Yeah.
why am I going to dress up for that, Sean?
Yeah. How
Duff.
about you? Yeah, yeah. Look at what you're doing with the airplanes first, and then come back and talk to me. Yeah, if the airlines do their part, then I'll do my part. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably
And
not.
you want me to dress up in like what, a 3-piece suit and then hang out at the airport because the flight is delayed like 4 hours? You want me to get dressed up and then sit inside of the plane while it's sitting on the tarmac because it's waiting to fly because there's a huge line in front of them. There's only one air traffic controller. So they
Yeah.
have to wait for everybody to go. And then they turn off the air because they don't want to use up the fuel. So I'm in a
Yeah.
suit in the heat, and they're not even giving me snacks. One of the greatest crimes of this country is the fact that a flight from New York to Los
Uh-huh.
Angeles, they don't feed you.
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly what I think. I think it is the genocide of the Native Americans, the income inequality, and the fact that you don't get snacks from
Slavery.
slavery. Oh, sorry.
No, it is crazy because if I take a flight from New York to Barcelona, as I have in the past, it's 6
Yeah.
hours and they feed you.
Yeah.
They feed you a meal. I'm just saying it's kind of crazy, you know? So I'm not
Yeah.
don't ask me to put on pants, Sean Duffy, until you
Yeah.
fix those flights.
Yeah.
Anyway, are you excited for Thanksgiving?
I'm always excited. This is my favorite week of the year, I've realized.
It
It's
really
just my
is.
favorite. It's the best.
It's the best. It's so exciting. I am excited to give you a plate of leftovers on Thanksgiving
Yeah, that
because you do like
sucks.
to show up late for good
I
reason.
like to I like to show up late. I like to have cold food.
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
cold. Can I just say, what are your thoughts about a potluck Thanksgiving?
It seems to be the norm now. And I'll
Hmm.
tell you why. It's because today's women they don't want to do the work. The generation before, our mother's generation, they took pride in the kitchen. They took pride in no, but I absolutely see it, right? I appreciate a potluck dinner because what it means to me is that I have multiple options. I get to try different people putting their best effort, I would
Hmm.
say. It does if it's not coordinated properly, it doesn't, it sometimes it goes there's just weird shit on the table, right? And so I would like for there to be a theme. I would like that everybody puts the same amount of effort in it or whatever. So that's what I like about it. Does it feel a little less special? Yes, it does.
A
Like
potluck
when
feels less special.
a potluck feels less special, and again, like the thing that I have to compare it to is our puppies,
Yeah.
our aunts, Thanksgiving, which was she was in charge of the entire fucking thing, right? And
Yeah.
she would dole out little like hey, you get to do this thing here.
Well, she was in charge of it, but we did arrive with an entire list of things that still needed to be done.
Exactly.
So she did put us to work, but it's like a true Thanksgiving where everybody gets put to work, you know?
Yeah, exactly. The theme is there. I know how one thing works in the other thing. I know how to put my plate together, whatever. So I like that part of it. But now it just feels like everything is potluck, which is fine, which is okay. I
Yeah.
do. I mean, I judge people based off of what they do, and I don't talk to them about it. But yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I have to go and make my brisket in a little
Oh,
bit. Start my brisket process. I'm excited about the new tradition that we've started, which is after Thanksgiving we go to watch a movie,
yes.
which we are going to go watch Wicked 2.
Uh-huh.
I hear it's going to be wicked good.
Boo.
Boo. Are you excited to see the movie?
Not really. That's so quick. Now I know that there are going to be many, many children with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Chachi wants to take an edible before Wicked, is he allowed to?
Let's talk off mic. Listen, we are going to be one of 3 or 2 of only 3 adults going with 5 children. So I do think that we need to make sure that at least one person is responsible.
Yeah, that's why your husband's coming. Your husband's coming, right?
He is, but you can't do that to him. He's going to be so sleepy. All the food he's going to eat. I'm excited for Wicked. I'm excited to wrap this thing up because, I'm this is going to sound crazy as the person who last year saw it so many times, bullied everybody into watching it, discussed it many times with many different people. I think I'm done with Wicked.
Ooh. Now there's only been 2 things. Mm-hmm. You're already done with it?
You know what it is? People are writing think pieces and I'm like, I think everybody needs to shut the fuck up.
Oh, what's the general feeling about Wicked? Like
people are writing think pieces about Galinda like she's a real person. And I need everybody to get a goddamn grip. Okay. We need to relax. Okay.
Are there think pieces about the making of Wicked? Like, are there think pieces about like Ariana Grande?
There's also think pieces about like Ariana Grande and Cynthia Riva's relationship and about like the baby girlification of Ariana Grande and like, it's just, I'm like, I just need everybody to go and talk to their family members. Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys all run for a local seat instead of putting all this effort into think pieces about Wicked?
Yeah.
I think that would be better. I know that earlier I complained that one of the biggest crimes in this country is the fact that they don't feed you from New York to Los Angeles. I would like to also, I've got an axe to grind about the criminal justice system.
Okay.
It's very upsetting. And you're going to love it because you're going to be like, oh, this is what happens because of people like you. You are going to say this. As you know, down in Texas, there is a prison. And at that prison is Ghislaine Maxwell, Elizabeth Holmes, and one Jennifer Shah. Jennifer Shah, just to remind you, is serving a 6.5-year sentence because she literally scammed elderly people of their life savings through like a nationwide like telemarketing scheme. Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, as of last week, it has been announced that Jen Shah will be released from prison on December 10th.
Okay. Why are you upset about that?
Why she didn't serve her time for the crimes that she, it's very upsetting to me.
That's what happens all the time though. Like you can't, like people get off for good behavior all the time. I'm not, listen, man, Jen Shah sounds like a piece of shit. She probably, what you should be worried about, which is probably the more realistic thing, is that she's going to come out and your guy, Andy Bravo, is going to give her a show on Cohen TV or whatever the hell that. But that's what's going to happen. That's really what you should be worried about. I think in general, when it comes to prisons and, all that stuff, our prison system does need to be reformed. Our criminal justice system does need to be reformed. Jen Shah isn't the person that I would kind of center that reform around.
Mhm.
But if people get off for time served or whatever, ultimately, I do think it's a good thing. I don't think that she's a person that's gonna make the best value with her time off or whatever. But there are other people in this country that should absolutely not fucking be in prison, right? So
Yeah, yeah. We're Ghislaine Maxwell though. She should stay.
yes,
Although
she should stay.
she's been moved from like a high security to a step down or whatever she's in now with Elizabeth Holmes and
Yeah,
Jen
she's
Shah.
hanging out. I saw a picture of her. She's walking around with an umbrella. I think she's having a great time.
She's having a great time. She talked to Trump, talked to the DOJ, and the DOJ said, no, we talked to Ghislaine. She actually said that everything is fine. No need for an investigation. And then
Yeah.
last week when Trump signed for the Epstein files to be released, Pam Bondi and Kashyap were
Gotcha.
looking crazy. They were like, what happened, Pam? I thought you said that there was no need to release the files because you did an investigation. She said, no,
There's been new evidence.
we got new information. So like, hey, you guys have our number. If you guys hear anything new, please reach out to us.
I don't know if you guys have heard. This is a guy named Jeffrey Epstein. He apparently did a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody else has talked about it.
Yeah. So if you have any tips about Jeffrey, a man named Jeffrey, a man named Epstein, anything like that, just let us know. If you know anybody who's ever talked to a guy named Jeff, give us a call. I love when she was up there. She was like, we're looking, if anybody has any new information, you're standing next to the head of the FBI. What do you mean?
He's looking lost. Cash.
Yeah, just big eyes looking around.
Cash is in more trouble. Do you hear?
Because of his girlfriend?
Yeah, because he got upset because he assigned a SWAT team to watch her perform the national anthem at one of these tiny sporting events. And then so they were there, and then they were like, this is stupid. We shouldn't be here. So then they left. And then he got really upset. And then he fired people. And then it came out that he fired people. Cash, man.
Well, he's also suing some like right-wing like MAGA QAnon influencers who are saying that she is a Mossad honeypot.
Yeah.
Oh, she is suing them. Yeah.
She's
totally not. Any pictures I've seen of her and I'm like, are we sure she's not AI? She looks like AI girlfriend. Does she not look like an AI girlfriend?
She does. She looks like a girlfriend or she looks like a picture that comes in a picture frame. She looks like one of those people.
She does. She looks like a Facetune ad. Like that's what she looks like. So I'm like, I don't believe that she's a real person anyway. So that's that. Anyway. Well, guys, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I've got lots to be thankful for.
Aw.
Yeah.
What's that?
You're not in it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. By the way, my kid has been texting me right now asking if he can use his iPad, and I'm not responding to him. And he said, please, can I? I guess that's a big fat no. So I'm grateful for my children. I am. Yeah.
What is that like? Because I don't have children, obviously. What is absolute power over another living human being like?
It's not absolute power over another living human being. It's just a responsibility over that other human being, because these little guys, they've got a lot of power.
Do they?
As you know. Yeah, that's what it's like. So anyway, I am grateful for you, you piece of shit. You bulbous nose, Jake Gyllenhaal looking ass piece of shit.
I look like Jake Gyllenhaal after his body was discovered in the lake after 2 weeks.
Just like swollen.
Just swollen.